or just in.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Jill. As Jill mentioned, we've known each other a long time through entrepreneurial companies, and we're now together here. And this is so exciting for me because Jill had many amazing words, but I have to tell you guys, in the previous company I was with, when Jill came in, we were all like, who is this amazing powerhouse? Jill, you are amazing. So I've been in awe of you as long as you've been in awe with me. It was just amazing, which is the great piece about networking, is you get to meet all these incredible people. So my name is Benny Martin and I am in Victoria, BC. It was pouring rain and now it is beautiful and sunshine. That's what we get here when you live on an island. And I have been in the industry of social selling for 8 years now. And I have been absolutely blessed to make it my full-time income. And I'm a single mama. And my son has grown up in this industry, having his mom be there for all the different things. It has, been a complete blessing in my life to be able to work around the schedule of being a busy single mom. I came over to Chernot after having the most incredible experience with Glow. You might get to meet Maverick here in a second. He's hungry. Okay.
I had to make soup before we started, 3 minutes before we started. So it's funny. They always want us when we're in the middle of something.
Right? He has an entire snack cupboard. So that's real life. That's actually the sun. And I came over to Chernot because I was looking for something with my health and I was looking for energy. I also, like Jill, was having some hair issues, which you can see is not an issue anymore. And I absolutely fell in love with the products. I love this product line. We're talking about impact products. If you don't know what I mean when I say impact products, these are products that we are seeing incredible results. So you're going to hear today about my experience, Jill's experience. We've got some other
my husband's experience.
Your husband's experience.
He's the biggest fan of this stuff. Like, it's the only thing ever I don't have to remind him to take, because 5 days after starting it, he stopped limping coming home from work. And like, the door's right there every day because he works midnights. He'd come just hobbling in, and he works hard, man. It's a warehouse job. It's a hard job. But every day before he goes to work, he comes in here, he takes his shot, and then he starts his day.
That's incredible. I mean, when we say impact products, like, it was days,
Yes.
Yes, bud. Yes, you can. Yep. Okay, snacks to go. Okay, I'm going to share my screen just to tell you a little bit about the company. Then we're going to dive into some of the products. I'm going to end with sharing some photos as well. And we're going to talk about our brand new product, Transform, which is just
changing everything.
It's changing everything.
Everything.
It is changing everything. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So the company we are talking about tonight is Chernot, and it actually stands for To Change Life with Stealth. And we talked a little bit about before, they are impact products. One of the things I absolutely love about the business is the quality of the products, but also this company, they are incredible. So they have been around for 10 years. They have been an Inc. 500 company 4 times. That is huge in a company for business. And they have an amazing Lift Where You Live program. I'm actually wearing this shirt. So we actually do a lot in the community as well. My background is social services. So I was 10 years working with kids and families, 5 years working with youth on probation. So giving back to my community is huge. But this really is why the products are so amazing, is our transparency promise. So everything is non-GMO, gluten-free, cruelty-free, ethically sourced, but also there's no fillers, no parabens. And what I discovered once I started using the products and having such amazing results was that the supplement industry is mostly synthetic. So when we talk about synthetic products, that's 97% of the market. So one of the biggest differences with our products here are they're based on raw whole food and ingredients. We have proprietary formulas, advanced technologies, third-party testing. There's a little stamp on everything that says GMP certified. And really the formulations of these products, they make them so they're bioavailable for the body and they work. So really my favorite part is the tens and hundreds of thousands of testimonies. I wake up every day to more people sharing with me just what the products are doing for them. So that's just a little
my
bit.
favorite part of the job. That is my favorite part of the job, is that I wake up in the morning and I get these messages like, oh my God, I feel better today. Or, oh my God, I jumped out of bed. I didn't even realize it. Like that, like it makes my heart go pitter patter. It is the best feeling when you impact somebody else's life for the better.
And I mean, I was waking up today, messages from people saying, I'm out of my collagen, I'm out of my mojo. Do you have more? So that's just the products, they speak for themselves. So we're going to go through a few of our favorites, and then Jill's going to share kind of, I'll talk about the products. Jill, you share your personal experience with them because I know you have one for pretty much every product. Let's start.
I like to try what I promote, right? So I have tried, I think, every product except for one. I don't think I've tried support and the oral spray. That's it. But every other product in the last 6 months has filtered in and out, hence the wall.
Well, we're going to start with Glow Collagen because I know that is why both of us came here. And this is was our top selling product until about a week ago. And this is our Liquid Glow Collagen. So a few things that make this unique. It has 10 grams of protein. It has 11 grams of collagen peptides. I was posting about this yesterday because my friend Jen Laurie, who's a holistic nutritionist, has done the breakdown, and the amount of peptides in our collagen versus the store-bought collagen is 10 times, like 10 times the quality and the peptides that you're actually getting from the collagen. So backstory, I was using, not naming any names, but a few different powdered collagens from different companies, spent quite a lot of money on it, never noticed a difference. Within 2 weeks of using the Glow Collagen, I felt a difference. The first thing I felt was the pain in my feet and my hips was starting to go away. And I had plantar fasciitis for 8 years and nothing was working. And I had hip pain from an injury in my late 20s. I know I may look great, but I'm 41. So that injury was a long time ago. I also had a burn on my hand that started disappearing within the first week. And I had a surgery about 3 years ago that I started to actually get feeling back where the connective tissue was damaged. So collagen for me is the gift that keeps on giving. It also has an antioxidant formula in it that is from raw whole ingredients. Most other collagens on the market are from ascorbic acid rather than the antioxidants that we use. It's about 4 to 5 servings of fruits and veggies just in that antioxidant formula in here. And our collagen has 7 patents on it. So that means it is very unique. It has the hyaluronic acid in it, which one of the side effects of Glow is you start to look younger and get beautiful skin. And collagen is the glue of your body. So connective tissue, our gut lining, our joints, all the different things. And we actually start to lose collagen in our 20s. So by the time you're in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s and upwards, you really start to feel that difference. I know my mom is in her 70s, very active. And when she tried it for a month, went traveling and actually called me up from her trip and said, can you send me more of that collagen? And she will not go without it now. So that is our Glow Collagen. It is fantastic. Jill, do you want to share a little bit more of your experience with it?
Sure. So I too, my dad's in his 70s and my parents have been married for 50 years. And because of COVID, their big trip got delayed and they went to England, Wales, and Scotland at the beginning of September. and my dad, who told me that he didn't need no collagen in his body. But my mom made him try it, and he started walking better and being able to keep up with her. My mom is the fastest walker on the planet, but they took it with them on their trip because my mom was like, there's going to be a lot of walking, we're going to be active, and you are not slowing me down. And they took it over there with them, and they now have a supply, and he will not run out. One of these days, I'm going to convince her to take it too, but then she's going to look younger than us all. So maybe we'll just give her a little more time. But I fell in love with the collagen because, like I said, it's a vain reason for me. My hair was falling out. I had lost a significant amount of weight, and I had been using other supplements from a different company. And I noticed that in January, when I washed my hair, and I'm tough on my hair, I dye my hair, right? That handfuls, and not like little handfuls, like full handfuls of hair were coming out to the point where actually to the back of my ponytail, it was bald. Like I had really big batches of spots. So I started the collagen, and I did 2 shots a day, which is double dosing. What do they call that? Loading. So I was loading for about 5 days, and the clump of hair went to like countable hair. And I have a picture somewhere in my group of, doing 2 weeks of collagen, and it legit went from clumps of hair to like 6 hairs. 6 hairs. I used to be able to lose 6 hairs just walking outside. But then I also noticed, because like you, I've tried many other collagens. I had the one in my coffee for years. It tasted good. I don't know what it did. And I tried marine collagen as well. And I did notice some difference in my skin, but I didn't notice it so much in my hair. And I'm allergic to shellfish. So I was really kind of rolling the dice there. And then I came here and I tried this, and I don't think there will be a day that either me or my husband will go without collagen. The reason I brought my husband into it is, like I said, he has huge sciatica pain. And I know what that's like. I had 2 knee surgeries in my 20s, and I've always been kind of babying them because I don't want to have knee replacement surgery. And it's actually no longer an issue for me at all. I've always had joint problems as well. I'm horrible. I cracked my fingers every day, multiple times a day. My hands never hurt anymore. So when my husband started it, like I said, 5 days later, he was not limping in here anymore. I think in 6 months, he's had 1 sciatica flare up, and it did not last the week and a half that it had in the past. He double dosed on those days, and he was back to work in a few days. For him, we also teamed that up with the Optimize supplement that we have that helps repair his body. And my old dog, who is over 10 years old and 130 pounds, also has some pain and limping issues. So I thought, if I give it to my husband, it's got to be good enough for my dog, right? I looked up the ingredients, they were all safe. And now every single day, my dog sits in front of my cupboard, and he looks pretty, and he barks at you until you give him a piece of cheese with his Optimize in it. And then he runs off and chases the other dog, and he's not limping the way that he was. So for me, instead of taking him to the vet and paying for all of those bills, I know, Steph, you work at a vet, you know what those bills are like. I don't have $4,000 to put into my dog. I wish I did. But this is buying us time, and you can see he's not in pain. And like, I just love that I can share these products, not only with my family, but I can trust it with my dog. So I get distracted. We were talking about collagen, right?
Well, you also mentioned the Optimize, which I'm going to touch upon because this is also one of my favorite products. It's a proteolytic enzyme. So it's going to act like a Pac-Man on the rogue protein in your body. So it was actually designed for pro athletes to get them back on the field, but that also can work for humans that are just regular humans and even animals. One of our team members, Casey, actually brought it to her vet. And her vet was like, absolutely, those are great ingredients. And same thing, her dog can now jump back on the couch and chase around puppies and all sorts of things. And you just want to, do a dose based on the weight of the dog. So this one here is my favorite probably story about this one is our friend Leah, who's also in Victoria. She's a personal trainer. She works out all the time, but she was in a car accident 3 years ago and was in pain all the time. And 5 days into taking the Optimize, and she can work out without pain. It is absolutely amazing. She just loves this product. I have when I have the kind of body when I work out or do something unusual, like power wash for too long, I get really sore. So I take this when I'm feeling sore. Game changer. I had a massage and she is like a deep tissue massage. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to take Optimize. And normally the day after massage, I'm quite sore, but I was completely fine this time. So that is the Optimize. We weren't really going to talk about it, but
Yeah. I'll
it's a
just add this as well. I took some today because I had a headache because it's like a pressury day outside and I don't take Advil. I really don't take anything big pharma except for my asthma medication because breathing's important. But I took one of those probably about an hour before this call and I'm fine now. Whereas, before I knew about this product, I would have powered through. I wouldn't have taken a Tylenol. I only take Tylenol and Advil like when I'm dying. And that's my personal choice. But like, I like having that option and how fast it works. It was an hour and I feel much better and clear-headed.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. And Leah, who was taking this for pain, also said she skipped allergy season and her migraines have gone away. So don't you love when a plant-based supplement can also have side effects like no migraines and skipping allergy season? And I've heard that from a few people. So that's the Optimize. We're going to talk about the Enrich next. And the Enrich is our digestive enzyme. I actually think I stole my Enrich to take some today. And it is a full spectrum digestive enzyme with a pre and probiotic. So this is going to help you break down the nutrients in your food. So you're going to absorb more of the nutrients. And then that pre and probiotic is going to help heal your gut. So we've all heard of the gut brain axis. So this product is absolutely incredible because gut health is the cornerstone of our health. And I think I see Mr. Trent Hartman on here. Are you on here, Mr. Trent? I'm going to bring my partner on for a minute to share his experience because one of the things I love about these products are just like Jill's husband. I heard about the Enrich. So if you are here tonight and you think about a product about someone you love, I was like, oh my gosh, will you try this Enrich? And it was incredible. Trent, do you want to share your experience?
Yeah, Benny said, hey, try this. And I tried it and it was awesome. So I suffered with pretty severe heartburn in my adult life. Every time I ate, I would have especially like spaghetti or pizza or something like that. It would bubble up. And when I slept, it hurt a lot and it was really uncomfortable. So I started taking the Enrich and I think it was about 2 weeks, Benny, that we were eating steak and wine, and that's a huge trigger for me. And then Benny said, well, you haven't gone to the cupboard for Tums after dinner today. And I was like, no, I feel great. And Tums is kind of it's like my dessert. And it was awesome. So and that was about a year ago that I started taking that. I've had heartburn a handful of times when I've really overeaten or had forgotten to take my Enrich, which happens, we're not perfect. And on top of that, within a week, I lost about 5 to 7 pounds just from not changing anything. All I did was digest my food better. So it's been a game-changing product for me, and it's just been unbelievable.
I 100% feel that because I kept Tums in my top drawer. And when I get up at 3 a.m. To go to the washroom, I was popping candy that's what it felt like. Cause I was getting severe heartburn every night, no matter what. Yeah. If I drank wine, if I ate well, whatever, lying down in me was not a friend. And since starting Enrich, I don't even have Tums in the house anymore. I actually use the rest of them to plant with my tomatoes because they were calcium. So I don't even keep them in the house anymore because when I flare up, all I do is crack one open, stick it on my tongue, and drink some water. And in about 5 minutes, I'm relieved. I keep them in my car too. Because
I haven't bought Tums in a year.
Yeah,
like literally. I used to have them in my backpack, in my drawer at work, in my cabinet, in my car, everywhere.
Yeah, me too. Same exact experience.
So this is the enrich we're talking about. I'm going to do a little pudding demo because I think it's just amazing, and we'll let it sit and we'll talk about some other things and come back to it. So we're just going to show you how this works. The other thing about enrich, and this is the main one I've noticed, is that it's going to help break down your food so you fully eliminate. We have lots of friends who have bathroom issues, and whether it's not going enough or too frequently, like IBS or constipation, this has really helped them. But for me, I have been gluten sensitive since my 20s, since I was on antibiotics like 4 times in a year because I didn't know better. So I'm just going to break 1 capsule into this chocolate pudding, and we're going to see what it does. So I can now go for pizza with my son, who has decided pizza is his favorite food, and he wants to open a pizza shop when he grows up. But I couldn't tolerate pizza. I spent my last day in Disney in bed because I ate a piece of pizza because I didn't want to get up and get other food, and everybody was having pizza. And I thought, just 1 slice. Now I can eat a pizza, no problem. We have other friends of ours who have lactose issues. And then a few of my friends have told me recently they struggle with iron deficiency, and because the enrich breaks down those nutrients and you're absorbing it, they've had more results on enrich for 2 months than 7 months on an iron supplement prescribed by their doctor. You can actually see it is bubbling and liquefying already. So I'm just going to leave this for a minute. So that is our enrich. The last one, remind me, Jill, when we're done with the next one to pour it out.
Okay.
The next one we're going to talk about is our nootropics, and then we're going to talk about the transform. Okay, so nootropics. These are going to help you with 3 things. The first one is it's going to help with your mood. People call it a hug in a mug. So it's going to help you. It's like happiness in a mug. I know that sounds wild, but it really is how I feel. And now I just smell it and I feel happy. Then we have the zest, which I know you love. And this is the fruity version. You can have them hot, cold. I have completely switched from coffee. And if you asked me a year ago, I am an absolute coffee snob. I had my coffee roaster, loved my cup of joe in the morning. And now I can't go without my mojo. I've literally had 3 people message me for more because they're almost out. And one of them said, I have a job interview and I need it. So I put some in a little container and put it out for them, like, got to get that job interview. So people love our nootropics. So it's going to help with your mood. The other thing is going to help with is your focus. So I even know a few people who have switched from, whatever they're drinking, like coffee or things like that, or energy drinks, to our nootropics. But also we have a few friends who also pair it with something called Focus, which has lion's mane mushroom and B vitamins in it. It's another supplement that we have. And they've actually been able to go off their ADHD medication, including my ex-husband, who was on the highest possible dose of ADHD medication, and he's been able to wean himself off. Now, we always recommend that you consult a doctor or health professional you're working with. But it's pretty incredible when you find something that you can swap out, like an energy drink or pop, for a healthier option. For me, it was coffee, and the amount of energy I have, clarity I have, but most of all, mood. So I suffer from anxiety. It's been my whole life, and I just am happier than I was a year ago from having my mojo every morning. Jill, I know you love zest. You messaged me the first time you had it and you were like, Benny, what is happening? This is amazing. You share that. I'm going to get a cup so I can put this out.
Yeah.
Ooh, Sharks
So-
coming in.
I love mojo as well. That's actually how I start my day. I like that she said it's like a hug in a mug. Well, for me, zest is like the kick in the butt I need to get shit done. So the first day that I had zest, I don't know if you guys know this, but spill rhymes with Jill, and Jill likes to make a mess, and cleaning up is the last thing I ever want to do. And so I had a zest that day, and then I went to the gym. And I went to the gym for like 2.5 hours. That's not like me. I'm pretty good about going for an hour, but like once I got there, I was like, yeah, I feel great. And then I came home and then I decided it was the day that I was going to move 3 rooms around my house from 3 different levels. And I did. And I remember after about 8 hours of going nuts, after I threw like a couch down the stairs and a desk up the stairs. That's why my office is up here. I remember messaging you and I'm like, what is in that stuff? Because like I need it intravenously every day. And it's funny because just yesterday I did it again. I came home and I had a Zest and my office was the other way, but this wall that I built is behind me. So I'm like, no. And I made myself a Zest and my husband had to go to sleep because he works midnights. And I took the whole thing apart because my desk is an L. So I have to take that part off and turn the thing around and move and I did that all yesterday because Zest gave me the energy. It really is my kick in the butt to get my day done. And as you were saying, like with mood, I have suffered with like severe depression on and off for about 7 years. I've done the therapy, I've done the antidepressants to the point where I had no feeling. And like we all have to do what we have to do in the moment. But I'm gonna say honestly, since introducing nootropics into my life, I'm not saying I'm cured because I still have good and bad moments, but it's not like it was. I always get out of bed and I always get dressed and I always make my bed because I learned a long time ago, if you make your bed, you've done something. And that's a big deal when your mind's taken over. And so I find that when I do fall, I don't fall nearly as far. And that is a big deal to me. So I will tell anybody who maybe suffers with the anxiety or the depression or just can't get out of your head that Mojo and Zest can really help just clear it up. It really is. It's like you just get this nice, light, happy, hey, I can get this shit done. So I will have at least one every day. On huge days, I will have my Mojo in the morning. And before I go to the gym at around 3, that's when I'll have my Zest.
Love it. And I'm kind of putting this person on the spot, but I know that Michelle is on the call. Michelle, if you are able to share just a really quick what the products have done for you, and mostly your daughter, when we're talking about the Zest, if you have a minute, you guys, Michelle's story is incredible. Makes me cry every time.
Hi, thanks, Benny. For my voice is a little raspy, let's say. Sorry about that. So my daughter's 25. She's dealt with debilitating anxiety her whole life. And we've worked really, really hard to manage it without any or very much medication. So, but when she was in her early 20s, the doctor gave her some medication that really helped. But she went to the doctor one day, left, called me, and was crying inconsolably. And the doctor wasn't going to renew her medication because it was highly addictive, and she's 25 and she wasn't comfortable giving it to her anymore, but she didn't give her any options either, which is a terrible thing. So she says to me in this conversation, Mom, I don't think I can't do this anymore. Well, that was just heartbreaking. And right away, I thought about some Turnop products I had heard Charlotte talking about. And I said to Victoria, I said, I might have a solution. Will you try something? And she said, yes. So I got in touch with Charlotte. She literally drove me down Zest and Focus. I got it to Victoria and I said, promise me you'll take it. Every day, can I ask you if you've taken it? Because if you're in that mental space, it's very difficult to even take the medication. So she started taking it. On the third day, I asked her how she was doing, and she said, I haven't thrown up, it's the best, since I took it. And prior to that, even with this other medication she was on, she was sick every single morning before work. Because the anxiety level amount of anxiety she would deal with just getting ready to go to work is more than any of us would deal with in a whole entire day. So that was huge. I mean, to the point that she would literally have to take a container in the car with her to be able to get to work. So fast forward, a week in, she had been taking it, and she would call me every day on her drive home from work because we get off work the same time. We chat on our drive home. And I got off that call and I pulled over and I called my mom and I cried. And I said, Mom, I just talked to Victoria and she sounded almost happy. And when your child suffers so much and works so hard for so many years just to get through school and university and job and live a successful life, and you hear that she's having just an ease and like some ease in her life is just more than I could even manage. And that was in May. She's still taking the Zest and the Focus, and it is still helping her just as much. I will add one little quick thing. One Monday morning, probably a few weeks ago, she messaged me, and it was an old type of message. I was a little bit taken back that I was used to getting, and said, I'm feeling so anxious this morning. You know, I don't know how I can go to work. And I was like, oh no, like panic, like this is the messages I used to get every morning. And I said to her, Victoria, do you have Focus and Zest at home or just at work? Well, I usually bring it back and forth, but I forgot it at work this weekend. And I said to her, wow, that just shows how much those products are helping you. And she was like light bulb moment, didn't put it together. And I said, I'll make sure you have some at home and work.
That's incredible. You guys, when we talk about impact products, we're just seeing that they're really changing people's lives. So thank you, Michelle. I know I love hearing your story because it makes a difference. And your daughter taking the products had me share them with my son's dad, and it's made a huge difference for him. We're going to go back to Enrich for a quick second so I don't forget, and then we're going to talk about Transform and then how you can get your hands on the products. Okay, so that Enrich, remember this was like a pudding that we could do like the whole blizzard situation. Now it is a liquid. You guys see that pouring out? Literally cleans it out. So it's not going to come out of your body this way. I always like to tell people that. But when we talk about breaking down your food and the nutrients, you can really see how it works. So I'm a visual person. When I saw this demo, I was like, okay, I'm taking my Enrich now. So the next product we're going to talk about is also an enzyme. And this one is brand new. It launched.
What broke the internet last week?
It broke the internet last week. I still can't believe it was a week ago because we did more business in 1.5 hours than we did in an entire month of September. And the product is called Transform. It is an enzyme that changes sugar to fiber in your gut. It also has a thermogenic in it called Grains of Paradise. So I first learned about this product back in August, and I had to sign an NDA. I got to try it early, and my mind was blown. Sugar into fiber in the gut. So when we think about sugar, we have heard about how bad sugar is for us. It's more addictive than cocaine. It causes things like inflammation, disease, lots of different things in our body. So when you think about converting sugar to something like fiber, which is actually useful for our body, it has some pretty big impacts. So we're going to hear a little bit about it, but I'm going to pull up some slides and share with you guys a little bit about it. And then we'll tell you we'll tell you what's happening. But Jill, I know you're having tremendous results from this.
I 100% have had unbelievable results, and I have run out, and I am going to start stalking the mailman. Oh, give me one sec. Give me one sec. My son's home.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys about the Transform, and Jill will tell you her results. So the benefits that we're seeing is stabilizing your blood sugar, improving your glucose metabolism, and helping your body convert your food to energy. Like, doesn't that sound amazing? There is a study. So this product was 10 years in the making. There's a study from Harvard University on this enzyme, and we were lucky enough to be one of the first companies to get our hands on it. So when we think of things, you know, that we've had in the past, like solar energy, or, you know, even things like Airbnb or CBD. I can remember when CBD came out and everybody was not sure what it does. And now I have CBD in my cupboard for my headaches and anxiety and things like that. So this is something that in 2 years from now, you're going to remember, oh, I was on that call when Jill and Benny told us about this enzyme. So I'm going to show you kind of the science behind it, and then we'll get into the good part. So it's going to convert 50 to 90% of your meals glucose into fiber. It's going to reduce your glucose calories by about 50 to 90%. And it's clinically demonstrated to improve your gut health, but also your glucose metabolism, and helps reduce the absorption of carbs and sugars. So what that looks like is all of these benefits that we're seeing: improved blood sugar management, mood, reducing brain fog and having more clarity, and then your metabolism supporting that, more energy, curbing cravings, which is my huge win from this product, and supporting healthy weight loss. Jill, do you want to share your experience on the product?
So I was lucky enough to get my hands on a bottle before we launched, and I ordered a glucose monitor. Many people in my family have sugary blood. So I put it on about 3 days before I started the Transform. And I learned some things about myself, because you never actually look at your health when you're healthy. And I've been taking really good care of myself. At least I try. Okay. I go to the gym at least 4 or 5 times a week. I eat healthy. I intermittent fast. All of our food I pretty much cook, except for on Fridays where I give up and order pizza. You know, so like I've been on a mission, and I have lost in the last year and a half, probably about 75 pounds. Which is awesome. But when you're in the middle of it, like, I felt like I hadn't been losing anything for like months. I felt like July and August and September, I was just stuck. So after 3 days of seeing what my glucose did, by the way, which was mind blowing, that I actually dipped low. I always thought I would spike high, but I learned that I dip low. So when I started the Transform, I stopped dipping low. And I stepped on the scale and I did my measurements the first day. And the second day that I stepped on the scale, I was down like already 2.6 pounds in one day. And I have never, ever seen a number like that unless I gave up every delicious thing in the world. If I did keto. And I had cheese stuffed raviolis that first night. So I was like, okay, let's try this out. So I ended up being on it for, I guess, 14 days, maybe 12. And I lost 10.6 pounds. 10.6 pounds in less than 2 weeks, which was mind blowing. It also totally got rid of my sugar cravings. And I may misbehave late at night with a bad habit that causes, you to want to have some munchies, and that totally stopped. I maybe made popcorn twice in 2 weeks. And when I did, I only had a little bit, and the dogs and the kids would steal the rest. It was just mind blowing to me that I didn't even like think of food. And I had 2 Thanksgiving dinners in this time period. 2. And if anybody has ever met my mother, it is where sugar lives. It's where it's created. It's where you can always find it. If you ever know a hungry person, take them to my mother's house and they will be cured. And like, I did have a gummy worm, and I did have cheese, and I did have turkey, and I did have ham, and I did have lemon meringue pie, but I didn't have nearly as much as I did. And the mind-blowing thing for me was I got to my lemon pie and I got about halfway through and I could not eat another bite. I wasn't stuffed. I didn't feel gross. I didn't need a nap. I was like, I'm done eating. That never happens. So to me, it was something that slid into my routine. I've been working really, really hard on, and really blew my mind. And so now I feel like I'm going to stalk the mailman until it gets here, and I'm never, ever going to run out again.
That is how I felt. I went down to Utah, flew down, got my bottle, came back beta tested before it was released or even known about, and I ran out. And so when I went down to Vegas, I bought enough bottles that I would not run out. And we have sold so much that I am just hanging on to that last bottle with my dear life until my shipment comes in. And we are just seeing these kind of results for so many people. I got off the phone with one of my dear friends, Leslie, and she has struggled with her weight her whole life, similar to myself. Anybody else know any women with that issue? Men as well, but more of the women in my life I know struggle with it. And she's known that she struggles with insulin resistance. All of the signals are there. And she is now down 16 pounds, and she started on September 28th. So I'm going to give you a few tips as well. 16 pounds, and all she has changed is she is taking 1 to 2 Transform before she eats her meals. So you want to take it about 30 minutes before, so it can break down in your body. Once again, I love that this is all plant-based. And she has actually been having a bit of a stressful lifetime. So she's had a family emergency come up, same thing over Thanksgiving, lots of Thanksgiving dinners. And what is she's just being consistent with that. So 2 things she has done that have also kind of really helped with this is she's drinking lots of water. So you want to make sure, because it's turning that sugar into fiber, drink lots of water. And then she's also folded back in the enriched digestive enzyme. So she takes the Transform 30 minutes before, and then the enrich about 5 minutes before. So I have to tell you guys, Trent and I have both been taking the products, and we are foodies. We love food. We love all the food. And both of us, but mostly Trent in particular, has a hard time stopping, especially when snacks are involved. So he has this little bowl by his desk, and he just kind of like goes to the cupboard and fills up the bowl. And it's just like this thing, kind of like going for the Tums. I'm just kind of used to it. And we were having dinner last week, and he turned to me and he said, "It's really working." And I said, "Tell me more." He said, "I'm not snacking." So for Trent to say he's not snacking is like, that's a big deal. Myself, I am a night snacker. I don't do it in broad daylight. I like to do it after people are asleep. So I'm the one, I don't have a bowl. I just go straight to the cupboard, and I'm like, "Oh, fishy crackers look good at 10 o'clock at night." Oh, Maverick's asking for fishy crackers now. He heard me. I'm a secret snacker, he says. Those kids, they know I'm a secret snacker. And I'm just not snacking. Trent and I went out for dinner last night to celebrate, and the waitress brought over the dessert menu, and we both looked at each other and were like, "Nah, like, no." And I mean, it was date night and he was paying. So to turn down dessert when someone else is paying, and we just didn't feel like it. And for me, like, food has often just been running the background in my life. So it's been pretty incredible. You want to make sure you stick with it and drink lots of water. And sometimes everybody's bodies are so different, right? When we talk about supplements and it's raw whole food, these are plant-based. So I'm going to pull up and show you guys a few of the slides of the glucose, because we can actually show you. You have measurable results the first time you use this product, if you choose to use your glucose monitor. So here is, so on the left, you can see this is our friend Natalie. You can see before the Transform, her blood sugar was doing this. And on the Transform, it's like a nice rolling hill. And then
That's
here on the
exactly
right,
what my blood sugar looked like. It was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
And then here on the right is our very good friend Shar, who I think is on. And one of the side effects is that most people are releasing weight. And this was over a wedding weekend. So she was very shocked that the scale was going in the opposite direction. Now, one of the things that I know Michelle's been experiencing this as well, is like the release of weight is great, but when you have the energy and when you're not feeling like you want to snack, like I feel like the cupboards call me at nighttime and they don't anymore. This is our one of our friends, Krista, and her when you think about sugar and kind of, you know, what it does for the body, her skin is clearing up just within a few weeks. Here is some more glucose levels. You can just see the difference. This here in the middle is one of our friends' moms who tests her blood sugar and has been doing that for 30 years. So you can imagine what she's dealing with. We don't mention any diseases on the calls, but she has been struggling with blood sugar issues for a long time, and she had immediate results, and she's over the moon excited. This is my results. So yogurt, peaches, granola, 10.6 without the supplement, 7.8, exact same meal. So you can see all the yellows were my highs. And then when I was on the product, it was just a stable kind of within 4 to 5 points, which is incredible. So that's just a few of those. The other thing that we just have to talk about is the opportunity that is there for us. So there's two different ways you can get your hands on the products. Reach out to Jill and she will give you more information. You can order products either as a customer or you can order as an associate. So I tell everyone I know that you want to order as an associate, because I don't know a single person in today's world that's not looking for some additional revenue stream. I know that was my case. I wanted additional revenue, and that's why I found this industry. However, these products, they are just so good. And as Jill said, she doesn't want to live without it. So as an associate, there's 2 perks. One, you get access to special bundles that are discounted, and then you also get a website. So, you know, being at the forefront of something like this, as big as it is, I'm going to tell you guys a story. I got some money from a work layoff situation, and I put it in CBD. And I made a lot of money. And this was before kind of everybody was doing it. And unfortunately, I pulled it out because as a single mom, I needed that money. But I was like, oh my gosh, imagine if I left that CBD in there, like what it would have been a few years later. This is kind of like this product is getting in the forefront of something before it's big. And being able to take on your own health and then sharing that with other people. I know Michelle, like Michelle's an accountant. We heard about her daughter. She had no interest in building a business, but once she had a product experience, she cannot stop sharing with people, because if it can help one other mom who has a daughter, if it can help one other person who's dealing with hair loss, if it can help one other friend of mine who's struggling like I am with energy, or, you know, my whole lifetime of food and my relationship with food, if it can help one person, then it's worth sharing about it. And we're all social sellers. I mean, you know, we share on Facebook. I mean, Trent and I were sharing about the beet and avocado salad at Glow in Victoria. You have to have it. It's the best salad in Victoria. Now, people go and have the salad. They agree with us. But unfortunately, we don't get a kickback from sharing our favorite food or our favorite Netflix. So that is really what social selling is all about. And I know for myself, I actually just got some silk pajamas in today. And the reason I got them was my friend Candace wears them all the time. And I said, Candace, where did you get those? And she gave me her link. That's how easy it is. And unfortunately, she does not get a kickback from Amazon either. So that's the opportunity that's there. I mean, Jill, you have been in business a long time.
I was gonna say, I was never on social media up until 8 years ago. And when I joined social media, I figured out that people were making money on social media. I could not believe there was a mascara that you couldn't get on Amazon. Okay, like this blew my mind. And at this time, me and my husband were severely in debt. If you ever want to know that story, you have to feed me wine and I'll tell you how it happened. It's dramatic. But we were working 6-7 days a week. We had Cole was 6, Ellie was 2. I was working overtime all the time. And Ellie was like this beautiful dream child. Okay. She slept from like 7 to 7. I worked 9 to 6. Okay. I was missing her whole damn life. And I wanted to make the decision that I didn't have to work Sundays anymore. So I joined a company, a mascara company. But here's the thing about that. And looking back, guys, I'll finish the story before I stop telling the story, is that I did that and I stopped working overtime. And then moving forward, I changed companies a few times. I figured out what worked for me. And I always set this big giant goal for myself that I was going to retire at 40. Which I am 29, that's my story, but I was born in 1980, you do the math. And when the pandemic hit, I worked in a liquor store for 22 years. I was a product consultant, I'm a wine snob, I'm a foodie, all of these things. And working in a liquor store during the pandemic was the worst experience of my life. I saw the worst of human beings, and everything I had been working towards to get out of that store situation really came to the forefront. Now, I didn't retire on my 40th birthday, but I did retire 1 month later. And that was because of direct sales. And for the last 3 years, I have been home with my kids. And I know people think it's crazy that my kids are older and I'm home now. And it makes my hair stand up. It makes me want to cry that I'm able to be here. I can drive my kid to school. Ellie didn't go to school today because she went camping yesterday and she had the sniffles. I don't care. Stay home. Hang out with me. That's cool. And I don't have to go running around town, relying on my parents, getting a babysitter, running to and from school. I can deal with my kids myself. And direct sales did that for me. And I've ended up here, and this opportunity is nothing like I've ever seen. I am about to promote my husband and get him a $1,500 bonus this month. My husband doesn't even know how to turn on the damn computer. Okay, straight up. But he does love the products. He tells people about it. And the best thing about this company is you can double dip. And we now are able to offer this company to people who only want to have customers. And I was that girl in that mascara business. I'm not going to bring anybody in here. I just want customers. I was a retail girl. I can sell. But it's also for people like me that can build a team, and you can work both sides. So that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm double dipping the system, and my family is winning because of it. And we are all feeling better, right? Like it's like such a win-win. And I know that this might sound silly, but the people, especially us moms who don't take care of ourselves, when you incentivize taking care of yourself, it kind of becomes like a job, and you become a little more aware, and you actually take yourself a little more seriously. And I don't know if it's just me, but it was the thing that made me take my health seriously, because before that, we always leave ourselves for last. And now I have to make myself a priority so I can tell all of you guys how amazing it is to make yourself a priority.
Absolutely. And even as you're talking, Jill, I can see a difference in your face just in the last couple weeks.
I don't, excluding eyebrows and mascara, because I can't help myself. I have no makeup on. And like, this is not the skin of a 43-year-old woman. It's not. And it's not one of the who loves the sun and is horrible with suntan lotion. Like, I'm fairly irresponsible about a lot of things. And I had a lot of fun in my 20s, okay? A lot of fun. And I smoked for 20 years. And I do not have the lines that I should honorably have from my bad habits in the past. And that is straight up 100% from these products. Because before I started here, I was seeing it and I didn't like, I actually wanted to take care of my skin because I was scared that my 70-year-old mother was gonna look younger than me because she's always taking care of her skin. And I was like, we can't have that happen until at least I hit the big 50, then I'll give up. But now we in competition, you know, like we are both looking fine.
Oh my God, I love it. And that is probably the one thing that I notice with all my friends that are taking the products now and family members is they're starting to look and feel younger.
We
So-
legit glow. We legit glow.
It's amazing. So I just want to thank everyone for jumping on. I know we've had a lot to say tonight. Please reach out to Jill and she will share more. If you have any questions, please let us know. We're here to help. And thank you for jumping on. I know your time is valuable and we're so happy that you shared with us. Is there anyone on that has any questions before we log off? If you have any questions, now is your time. I'm going to just stop the recording and the live, and we'll just see if there are any
I don't
questions.
have any questions. I just wanted to say, Jill, I love you. I